Yeah, we better not tape that.
That's very funny. Don't wait, kitty. Selling Marie's cookies.
Yeah, well, that's what I came for, really. So what I'm gonna do is we're sitting there, I'm gonna have a little coffee.
Okay. Oh, God. Milk is here.
Yeah.
Take milk?
Yeah.
Sugar?
Yep.
This used to be her grandmother's. I love this thing. It's probably older than you.
I know. I mean, that's the way things were.
Yeah.
They're solid. A good cup of coffee, right? Anything?
No, well, me, I don't drink it much. I
Oh,
drink
no.
tea
Tea.
most of the time in the
Okay.
morning. But this is a special occasion.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, so anyway,
yeah.
I used to run around with a camera. My father had a little, 8mm Bell and Howells.
Oh, yeah.
So my friends and I, we used to take it and play with it, and you make these 3-minute films. Of course, it costs you $5 for the raw film, and then $5 to get it developed.
In the old days.
$10 was like,
Yeah.
we didn't have $10. So we did it once in a while, and then we'd go on ski trips, and we'd go down the hill with it, and it would do slow motion.
Wow.
But if you did slow motion, the way that works, it kind of runs the film real fast through it. So you got not much on the
Well,
film.
how does this work? It's not film in there, is there?
No, it's
I don't know anything about these things. Whoops.
Sorry, my brother. I have one of these tables in my basement.
Drawing,
Yeah.
drafting table?
Yeah, because when I was at RIT the first year, we had to do design.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrific. So you bought your own table?
Well, they made us buy them.
You what?
They made us buy them.
Oh,
We had the board, and then we had the
that's amazing.
and we used to. We had to set everything up. There was no computers, so everything had to be laid out and designed on a piece of paper. So
So
yeah.
what
So here's what happens. It's digital.
did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's one of those little, what do you call them, chips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we pop one of these, and it holds like a few hours worth of stuff.
Wow.
And then we pop it out, and then pop it into our Mac.
Right.
And then we bring the images into a software program
Yeah.
that puts everything on the timeline. You drop things down on the timeline and you edit it.
I see.
Color, sound.
That's
titles.
amazing. I'd love to see how you do that sometime.
Yeah.
Tell me something.
Yeah.
I have a couple of these things that came from an old camera that we were using,
Okay.
but they're larger in size.
They're larger?
Yeah.
So what do you want to
They're
do?
just wide. Well,
You wanna
I'd like-
transfer 'em?
I want to transfer it to
I just
something
met a
like-
guy that does that.
Is that
They-
right?
They have a huge business in archive.
I
Take-
wonder if TakeNet does it. I didn't think-
Maybe. But I just met this fella down at the Harding Township. They have a setup with all the libraries where you bring your old photographs, old films, family films,
Yeah.
and they digitize it. So it's all stored for you.
Really?
And it can be
That's
passed on.
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was gonna say, do you have all your stuff stored digitally?
It's a mess. I don't even have slides of some of this stuff. That's how
Yeah.
stupid I was
Yeah.
in the beginning.
Well, yeah. I mean, you'd have to take everything out and shoot it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna do that. I've more than, I'd say, the first 15 years worth, I took off the stretcher frames and rolled them because
That was kind of traditional, right?
a lot of people do that, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not good for the paintings.
Yeah.
It really roughs them up.
Do you spray them or something to keep them moist?
Well,
when
there's
you
a
roll?
way to do it. You're supposed to use a glassine and roll it with the picture on the outside. If you roll it on the inside, it kind of crushes it, so
Oh, yeah.
you get cracking.
Yeah.
But anyway,
So anyway, I always wanted to. Well, I didn't always want it, but I heard about Mendham Television about 10 years ago, and I wanted to get involved. But you know, it's funny. It's a small place, and if you don't really push hard enough, and the people that are doing it are sort of volunteers.
yeah.
You know, and I got busy with other stuff, and then I met my friend Mike Monahan got involved, and I saw him filming out in town one day.
Right, you told me about that.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Mike,
so-
oh yeah, sign me right up. We need help.
He's the guy who left, right?
Yeah, he left.
So how many hours does that little chip you just showed?
That would be like 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah. Yep. And then we have batteries. That could be plugged in, but we have a battery in the back. And you know, that lasts a couple hours too. Yeah. So it's I think, I'm not sure whether these were donated to the station or we got a very good deal on them.
You look pretty sophisticated.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean,
that
I'd say they're
Leica?
about 10 years old. It's Panasonic. They're probably a lot smaller now and a lot more efficient, you know. But they do really nice work. Of course, it's always who's filming it, you know. If I got the lighting set up right or whatever.
Do you
So
bring
when I go-
lighting with you?
We have some lighting, yeah. I'm not, you know, too familiar on how to set that up, but what I'm gonna do is I'll go back and I'll pop this in my computer and I'll see what we need. We might need to like put microphones on.
Oh, I see.
I could put like a wireless microphone. So, you know, you know, you can hear it and then you can adjust the sound.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I watch public television now, I watch it pretty much all the time.
Really?
And I just I want to see if we could create our station into something a little more smoother.
Smoother.
Yeah, I mean, like we have a lot of clunky stuff, and then we have some really good stuff, and
Yeah.
we have a lot of sports because
Yeah.
our station manager, you know,
It's all sports.
it's all sports,
Yeah.
and it fills the time. So what we need is other things.
Well, if you're gonna follow the National Public Radio,
Public TV.
Public TV, I mean, you spend 2/3 of your time asking for money.
I know,
It's incredible. They spend more time advertising.
Anthony. If I don't tell you, like my friends turn around and walk the other way when they see me coming, is because all I'm looking for is a lousy $100. Don't worry, George. I'm gonna send you a check. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of it is because the year, you know, it just goes by quickly.
Yeah.
And like right now, we have a very small budget, and I think if we can get a little bigger budget, we can, you know, maybe, you know, pay some people for their content or, you know, help them,
Oh,
you know, go out there and do it.
that's a nice idea.
You know, we'll see. I don't know if that's going to work or if it's going to be too tedious. But you know, like you said, you're competing with the National Public Corporation that's raising money. They raise money twice a year, I think, or maybe 4 times a year on
Yeah.
the radio and on television. And you know, heck, if we could raise $100,000, that would be big time. We could be. I mean, Mendham's a small town, so I'm not sure we need that much to be around that much. But there's a lot of little things going around in town that people, I think, people
Yeah.
would love to get it up on the station.
Yeah, in fact, you know, someone who was here just yesterday was talking about a little festival that she's going to do. Lori Felber, do you know
Yeah, I
her?
know, Lori.
They're doing a kind of a cleanup session over by that little pond.
The mud hole
Mud
on
hole.
Mountain Avenue.
Yeah, yeah. And there's going to be a young woman who models for me.
Uh-huh.
She comes to draw here.
Oh, Lori does.
Yeah,
No kidding.
yeah. I have a little group that meets on Friday mornings. A couple of architects come, a couple of other artists.
Really?
Anyway, one of the models, in fact, that's that young lady who's
Mhm.
in the unfinished drawing.
Okay.
she's an artist and does these dance programs. So that's going to be happening
When's that gonna happen? I gotta send her an email.
April 13th.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was it.
I gotta make a note.
Let me check that. You need to post it?
Yeah, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go, I'm gonna run out and...
She talked about getting it on TV. About it,
So what's she gonna call it?
I don't know what she calls it.
I filmed something for her last...
April 16th. It's called the Three Rivers Festival.
Really?
I think that's what she's going to call
All right.
it. You have her number?
Yeah, I have her email address.
Email, that's even better.
I actually did something for her last year. She had three fellows come over for they did a talk on natural, what's the word I'm looking for? Plants, native plants.
Oh.
Native plants in New Jersey.
Huh.
And I think it was like, I got a two-hour thing.
kidding.
It's up on that website. When I show you
Yeah.
that, you can check it out.
I'll have to
But
go
it was
and
really
check
neat
that out,
because
yeah.
they talk about all the good, good plants that are for the, for the area.
Yeah.
The air-resistant things, and plants that are native to New Jersey.
Really?
Yeah, it was really great. I loved it. It's the kind of stuff I like to get into. I mean, you like to grow once in a while, right?
Like grill, did you say?
Grow.
Grow, yeah. I had a garden for years and years, but it just, all the trees around here, I had it right back here, and the trees just overgrew,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it didn't get enough sun.
Yeah.
Also, what I learned is that if you have a garden anywhere near these black walnut trees,
Oh yeah.
it's the roots send this toxic
Really?
substance out, and it ruins your tomatoes.
You mean it just ruins the taste of the tomato, or they
No,
don't
they
grow?
die.
Really?
Yeah, they rot on the vine. I found that out when I took the leaf to the.
So how far does the root? I mean, because I have these in my
We
backyard.
have like 50 yards.
Really?
Yeah.
No wonder. That's like the.
But yours are in pots, though.
Yeah, I put mine in
Yeah, so that's
pots,
good.
and I believe that when I first moved there, I was putting them in the ground.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And did it work? The tomatoes?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I did. Yeah, I grew some tomatoes, but you know what? I did stop doing it because I don't know whether I thought it was just the soil was bad. I didn't really.
That's what happened to me. I had to stop because it ruined the plants.
So basically, what you need to do is you need to elevate and make these.
The very thing that you did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
I didn't know that about those. I do.
I
I
didn't
do know
either,
that they
so
are
that-
messy
Yeah.
when they drop in that black stuff.
Oh
is
my
just-
God.
We used to send the kids out to collect them. We collect hundreds and hundreds
Yeah.
of walnuts.
Well,
They dump
the
'em up.
squirrels here,
They do a good job of that.
and it's amazing what they do. You can't see it now, but just before in the fall,
Yeah.
they start picking them up
And burying them.
No, they don't bury them. They take the outer skin out, and they get to the
The walnut.
walnut inside. And then when they want to eat the thing, they chip away at the walnut itself, and they get into
The meaty part?
there's one little seed in
Oh.
there, two little seeds.
Really?
I think I have one here someplace. It's the most amazing thing to see.
Well, I do know that they take that little walnut and they're sitting there nibbling. I see
Yeah.
all these little piles of stuff
That's
around.
right,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
And that stuff is really murderous. It's a black,
Yeah.
inky-like substance, and when
You
you
can't-
get it on your clothes, you never get it
Oh,
off.
I know.
It's hard to get off your hands.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So Lori Felber, okay,
Lori
I gotta
Felber,
get
yeah.
I gotta get a hold of
it's
her.
going to be quite a festival.
And it's gonna be down by the mud hole there?
Yeah, and they're also going to, I don't know a lot of these places, but a lot of children are going to come,
Mhm.
and the children are going to read and write poetry as well.
Really?
It's going to be several little events, and they're going to have a little rubber ducky race on the water.
Okay.
I guess there's a spring that,
Yeah, you know what, that could be associated with, I think the local Rotary clubs do that rubber ducky to raise money.
oh, is that right? I didn't know about
Yeah,
that.
they do it in Berkeley Heights.
Ah,
Yeah.
how interesting.
Yeah. So
I thought it was something she invented.
Well, maybe maybe it's something separate. Maybe she's kind of like using the idea.
Yeah.
But I'll see if maybe the local Rotary Club is involved.
Huh.
That's interesting.
What a funny idea, huh?
So Lori, she comes over here and paints on Fridays?
We draw.
Draw,
We
excuse
draw,
me.
Yeah.
You don't
It's
do
a little
painting.
group.
You do painting also, right?
Yeah, but I do a lot of drawing. This is a drawing, a sketch group.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Yeah, maybe sometime you can come over and film that. Models don't mind.
We'll have to like put a little one of those round things.
Right.
Yeah. But that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we're laughing, but we're just looking for things. I mean, if you watch public TV,
Yeah.
there's a lot of little stuff, just little segments.
Yeah.
What's going on. People don't think of that when they think of
No.
Random all the time.
Not at all.
So
Not at all.
it would be great. There's probably a lot of things going that go on
Yeah.
in small ways in town.
I had some ideas too while I've been thinking about this. Because we got into lots of different topics
Yeah.
the last time we sat and
Yeah.
talked. If we had a kind of an extended conversation like that,
Yeah.
again, we could even cut to images.
That we were talking
One
about.
One of the things that I thought about was, remember, I went to live in Florence.
Right.
And it was in 1975 when we went there.
Right.
1975, Florence was still suffering from the
Flood.
results of the flood, which was in 1966.
Yeah.
It was only 9 years later.
Wow.
But I don't know if I mentioned this.
What year were you there? Because I was there the same year.
1975 to
Yeah,
1976.
and they showed us how high the water went
Right.
on the wall.
Exactly. And now what they have are these little marble plaques, but then you could
It
actually
was
see
black.
this. That's right. It was from the heating oil that was washed up by the water that brought it up.
Wow.
That's how high the water
I
was.
forgot about that. And I
Yeah.
didn't realize it was.
Well, I have pictures of all that stuff. It would be interesting.
Yeah,
to
we could talk about that, and we could just take them. I could put the pictures up and
Yeah.
voice over your.
That'd be
Yeah.
fascinating.
Yeah.
I know we'd have to figure out how to do this.
Well,
What was nice
You
last-
sit there. I want to see how I'm doing here
Oh,
with
okay.
the. If I actually, I think I'm actually in it too. Yeah. I got this chair in here.
You can't hear the sound now, though, can you?
No,
No.
I mean
Can't you?
we're
I
taping
mean-
the sound.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I could. The only thing I could do with that is probably get next time I'll bring the headphones in and I can listen to see how it
Ah, I
sounds.
see.
But what we'll do is I'm going to break this down and we can go around and we could just film certain areas, and if you want to talk about the areas,
Yeah.
we could use it, because if you don't like, we could just drop the sound out.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you want to explain some certain things like while I'm taping them.
Yeah. You know what? I wanted to take some notes
Okay.
so I could think about it.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? You go sit down, take your notes, and I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna just put it on pause here.
On
Let's see.
what?
I'll pause this.
You should get a picture of this.
Artist at work.
I bought some books from a publisher company called Watson Guptill.
Yeah.
They print a lot of art books,
Uh-huh.
and I bought enough so that they send me this free.
Order one more book for $10.
Exactly. I could sort of talk about some of the things.
Okay. Anything in particular on the wall there?
Well, these pieces,
Okay, I'm gonna just scan this a little.
sure. The postcards are all,
They're not yours, are they? They're just,
no, they're from museums.
yeah.
and from all over Europe and the country. But I find them very inspirational. I love to look at them. They give me ideas.
Uh-huh.
They're also announcements for exhibitions.
Right, which you've done a few around here.
Yeah, and actually they're not my postcards though. They're
Right.
people, other people's exhibitions. That, I don't know if you can see that in the window.
Well, I can see it. Can you take it down?
I can.
Because I think, well, I can zoom in on it.
It's a little.
It's kind of getting,
Oh,
I think
because
that
of the light.
Yeah.
I
Go ahead, grab it. Unless, can you reach
But
it?
you can't see it because it's got that light behind it.
Oh,
No, it'll-
don't
that'll
go.
fall. How about that?
Perfect.
You know, I did the stained glass windows in
That's
the
at St.
church.
Joe's, yeah.
Yeah. While I was doing it, I worked with this guy. He's a terrific fellow. His name is Ray Clagnan.
Uh-huh.
He's now working on the Riverside Church in New York.
Really?
They've taken all of those windows out, and they are enormous. They
Yeah.
are enormous. They're probably up to the top of that, which is maybe 16, 18 feet.
Wow.
And they're at his studio in
In New Jersey?
Warren, New Jersey.
In
Yeah.
Warren?
Not Warren. Yeah, I think it's down near around Tom's River. Anyway,
Huh.
while I was working on the doors at St. Joe's, I just did this little thing. It was a copy from something out of a book. While I was waiting for something.
Did we use that for one of the,
No,
we never used
never
it?
used it for anything.
I do remember when we had those, what else?
So the one painting in the middle
Uh-huh.
with the bittersweet and the skull with the blue cloth
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
it. That's the first painting in this series that I've been working on for several years now, the Memento Mori series. That was the exhibition I had last summer
Uh-huh.
in New York at Hunter College.
Okay.
It was kind of like a farewell exhibition
Right.
after they opened the door for me. Anyway, but the other pieces are all studies from some of the other paintings. There are
Uh-huh.
10 in the series.
Okay.
There's one on the wall in the back
Okay.
you can look at later.
So are these all in the series, everything up on the wall there?
Well, these things were in the exhibition because the curators who put the show together thought it would be a great idea if I showed some of the studies and the preparation work for the painting.
Oh, interesting.
So all the individual drawings, all the compositional studies
Uh-huh.
were part of the exhibition. So with each painting, there were a whole series of little things like this.
Right.
In fact, when we walk back that
Right.
way, you see the horse?
Mm-hmm.
You'll see where it comes from.
I see.
A little too much clutter right now.
Well, yeah, I'm zooming in right onto, see?
Oh,
This is what I'm doing.
I see.
Yeah,
Cool.
so you don't even see that.
Here's our dog.
Yeah.
When we used to go to Nantucket every summer,
Yeah.
the dog would come with me
Uh-huh.
and sleep underneath the easel, this portable easel.
Out of
I
the
had.
in the shade, right?
Exactly. She loved it. That's quite a zoom you got.
Yeah. So if you want, we can.
Ah,
Get the
look
whole
at
wall.
that. Cool.
That's sold. So you said that on Fridays you have a.
Sketch group. Yeah. Couple of local architects.
Mhm.
Nick Cusano, you know him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Art Palumbo,
Right.
Lori
Mori
and a couple
Felber.
of local artists, Mori Felber,
Uh-huh.
Peter Allen, who lives down at the end of the road here,
Okay.
and a couple of other people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's just a drawing, sketching class.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's go move it around.
Okay.
So pretty much, Anthony, they
I could put more stuff up on the wall there.
well, you know what? We're gonna come back
Okay.
and we're gonna do the same thing. So basically, just like in a traditional art studio.
Yeah, that would be where the models.
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
Normally I cover it though, so with a
Oh, at the bottom, the base. Yeah.
quilt and a sheet.
Yeah. So it's not distracting.
You see that over there in the corner? That's a painting that I'm about to start. And on the wall to the right there, the drawing. You
Yeah.
see it?
The sketch.
Yeah, that's a preparatory drawing for the painting.
And that particular thing, that like mural on the wall.
That's going to be part of the painting, right?
And what is that from?
That's, it's a plaster cast from an ancient Greek frieze that was on a building in,
Oh, really?
I think it's in Athens. I have to check on that.
And did you kind of create that, or is that
No,
like
no,
a
no.
cast?
That's a
That's the
cast.
real. That's the real thing.
I think it was probably,
Well, I mean, it's a reproduction.
yeah. The size, I think, might have been, no, I think that's the actual size, because those reproductions were done from the original.
And are the things in front there, the bust, is that going to be involved in it?
In the painting?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that. Can you stop it a minute?
Sure.
I'm going to.
Trying to get viewership up.
What the hell are you doing over there,
Trying to-
George?
No, he's Alan will like say, "What the heck are we doing over? What are you doing over there, George?" Well, you can go over and.
Where's
Oh,
that
no,
shadow
look at-
coming from? That's interesting. Oh, you know what? I can turn the lights on over here. Is that all right?
Go ahead. Yeah, what is the light's coming in from the side, probably, right?
Oh, I
the
think
window?
It's, I think the shadows from over here.
So, Anthony, what do we know about this? That's a beautiful painting.
Thanks.
My
You know, if
gosh.
you move over here.
Yeah,
No, it's not that. It's, you know what it is?
it's coming from your side.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's that light up there.
All right. Perfect. That's fine.
Okay.
So, I mean, the hair is almost like, it's like real.
It's called the girl with the pearl earrings.
Oh. And then up above there, we have the,
Up top,
yeah,
that's
those are your seascapes.
that's a view of Nantucket.
Uh-huh.
If you look carefully over in the left corner there, that's the town of Sconset. And you go over to the right, that's a bird sanctuary, and that little tiny house which is in the lower right, that's part of the Coast Guard station.
That's a view of, is it from Nantucket?
It's on Nantucket, yeah.
Okay, but are you on Nantucket when you're drawing it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. That's the ocean we're looking at,
Yeah,
directly towards England, where your son is.
yeah, right. So where's
You
that?
waved to him, he
Yeah,
likes it.
where's that? Where's that?
Where's Nantucket?
Oh, I see. No, I see the little
Yeah.
lighthouse station right
Oh,
there,
nice.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually a
Coast Guard station.
Coast Guard, yeah. There are a whole series of buildings back there. There's
Uh-huh.
actually a little community of Coast Guard people that live there.
I've never been to Nantucket.
You ought to go,
Yeah.
George. Ellen would love it.
Yeah, I think she might have been there.
Really?
Yeah, well, she used to work up on Cape Cod when she was in college.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to college?
She went to Trinity down in Washington.
Uh-huh. It must have been exciting for her.
She loved it.
Being on Cape Cod.
Yeah.
So what's the cat doing?
Cat's just hanging out.
Boy, what a ham, huh?
Yeah. So now this here.
This is the painting, and that little painting that was back there,
Mm-hmm. Right.
the horse,
Right.
this was a study for that. I mean, that was a study for
For this, yeah. This is. So
And
so
you
how?
can see the horse over there.
Yeah. So when you mean you do preliminary studies?
Yeah,
They call
I
them
do.
studies.
I would do, I do a drawing like this, which is a little bit rougher,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would work on some details, like the horse in there.
Uh-huh.
And then in some cases, if I needed to, I would do a small painting of some part of it, just to work out some of the ideas.
So you
Color.
can. So you don't have to. You can go over and
Yeah.
and refine it.
I'll tell you the truth, also, it gives me a small little painting, which I could sell for less money. So I can
Oh,
sell,
interesting.
I can sell
So
something.
you can
off of it.
monetize this stuff. Never thought of that, Anthony.
This is called, you want me to talk to you about the, yeah,
Yeah.
this is called Bouguereau's medium. Bouguereau was a 19th century academic painter,
Uh-huh.
very famous during his time, and very, very successful.
Okay.
He worked with a very unique, special,
Yeah.
a very unique, special, what are we looking at?
That little dot down at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's your voice.
Oh, I see.
So we want to get it to halfway.
Oh, I
So
see.
it's just the way moving you closer. That's the microphone. right there.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
that's fine.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so he had this medium that he worked
Yeah.
with, and those bottles there, they all represent the different oils and dryers that he mixed in with the paint.
Oh, so this is a painting about a painter.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And what are those particular things in those bottles?
Well, they're called secatives. There are two secatives, which are dryers. One is the secative of Cotteret, the other is the secative of Harlem. And you mix those together in different proportions, and then linseed oil also,
I see.
and of course a little turpentine. I mixed them together and I put them in the black bottle so that the sun doesn't affect the oils, otherwise they get thick.
When you said Harlem, was that Harlem, the Netherlands?
Yeah, exactly.
That's where my uncle was born.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I've just learned that last year, and now I've heard it like 3 times.
Which uncle?
My mother's sister's husband. So
Wow.
he's from Holland.
That's terrific.
Yeah, Hoover Camp. So when you said Harlem, I'm thinking that's got to be where, because
Yeah.
that's where Rembrandt, who was from.
He-
a lot of the great painters.
A lot of the great painters, yeah. Most of them, though, were in Amsterdam.
Okay.
That's where Rubens was. That's where Rembrandt was.
Yeah.
But so the whole idea is that Bouguereau he's sort of important to me. Someone I think is a magnificent painter, and I find his work absolutely inspirational. And I brought that into this series of the Remembrance of Death, the Memento Mori, because just because it's part of my artistic background.
Oh, I see.
But at the same time, I'm dealing with the passage of time, which is what the sculpture from ancient Greece and the skeleton,
Uh-huh.
which is clearly a reminder of what we all will
Right.
turn into.
Right.
And that's why I changed the color of the robe there. It was dark.
So what is on that album? It looks like there's a
It
a
says-
title or something.
It is. It says MM4. Can you get close
Yeah.
to that?
Yeah.
MM4.
That must be the year.
That's Memento Mori 4. It's the 4th painting in the series.
Ah.
In each one of the paintings, next time you come, I'll pull out some
Yeah,
more of them so
sure.
you can see them. Each one has the Roman numerals and the,
But this is you just marking them. Your way of
yeah,
marking them.
yeah,
What was this fellow's name that you're inspired by? Bouguereau.
Bouguereau.
Italian. No?
French.
French. Okay.
Very French.
All right.
William Adolphe Bouguereau.
Very interesting.
The little blocks of wood, I mean, this is just an aside. Someone I knew from Hunter had a brother-in-law who was a carpenter, and he made these very expensive, very specifically designed bows for people who shoot bow and
Yeah,
arrows
yeah.
as a sport.
Yeah.
And those were blocks that were cut away, that were thrown away.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so in other words, those in the corner there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Hmm. And then how many years did you teach at Hunter?
46 years.
46 years.
Yeah, I started as in 1967 as an adjunct, and then just stayed. A few years later, I got full time, and
And then you went. You took that sabbatical to Florence.
I actually had in that period over the 46 years, I had more than one sabbatical. Yeah, but the first one was the one in 1975, which was life changing, George. Life changing.
So you want to take it
Anyway.
over there?
So that's
okay.
that's one of the paintings in the Memento Mori, and then the big one up there
Yeah.
is another one. That's the last one I've done.
Do you want me to?
Your choice.
Yeah, let's bring it over.
Uh,
Yeah, let's talk about it.
You want to talk about that, or do you
Yeah.
want to go this way?
Well, okay.
Whatever you want to do. You're
Let's go to
you're the director.
the next painting. Sort of keep it in. So this was the. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see the skull. Up.
See it?
Yep.
This is called Sappho and Aphrodite. Aphrodite is there behind you,
Okay.
the sculpture.
Yep.
One day while I was working with the model took a break, walked over there, and leaned on the on the sculpture. And I thought, what a great picture.
You just move back here so your arms don't go in front of it. So what did you do? You took a snapshot, or did you just
No.
remember it?
No, not yeah. I took a photograph, but
Yeah.
I did that from life. The model.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had the model. It must have been about 7 or 8 sessions with the model.
Wow.
She's standing there, and
Oh my gosh. Well, so how long do they stand there?
20 minutes at a
Oh,
time.
okay.
They
take a break,
and they
yeah.
come back. But it was it was warm, so the door
Yeah.
was open, and you could look
Yeah.
outside. And
So that specific, what do you want to call that statue?
yes,
Um,
yes, that there is actually a copy of that, a Roman copy of it that was done in the 1st century
Uh-huh.
AD, which is in the Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Really?
And that one has all the parts put back together. It's got its arms and the head.
Uh huh.
But this was a broken version of it.
And it kind of landed in your studio.
Can I tell you that story?
Yeah,
It's a
go ahead.
wonderful story.
Go ahead.
A friend of mine taught at Marymount College, which was,
Up in Terrytown, right?
yes, they were still run by the nuns then. And the nuns decided that they were going to sell the property and move somewhere else
Uh-huh.
because it become, I think, very valuable property.
Yeah.
Anyway, they sold it to, I believe it was Fordham,
Okay.
and Fordham kept it for about a year, and they realized it was going to be much too expensive to maintain.
Yeah.
So they decided to sell the property off, and some company bought it, and they were going to just take over all the buildings.
Right.
So they got rid of everything,
Really?
all the.
It's just wholesale, right? Just
just
get rid of it, right?
No, they weren't gonna sell anything. So she called me on a Saturday morning.
Uh-huh.
And she said they're throwing out all of the statues that they used in the art classes and all of the equipment,
They're throwing it out.
throwing it out. So I said, she asked me, do you want any? I said, sure, I would love to. So I drove up there, and she met me, and she gave me a whole bunch of things, including these art horses on the side
Sure.
there.
Yeah. Wow.
And this was already in a dumpster. So she said, you want that? I said, absolutely.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it.
I mean, they have. There's obviously value to these things. What are the?
Well, I think the people who threw it out were idiots.
Well, that's
seem-
typical. Well, you know, they
Yeah.
just clear it out,
Exactly.
and you know, only people that are going by dumpsters then picks this stuff out. Get the understand.
Now, if you focus in
Mhm.
on her right leg
Right.
down at the bottom,
Right.
which is in the bottom, the right-hand bottom of corner of the door,
Okay.
see the MM11?
Oh yeah. There it is.
There it is.
Yep.
I like to hide it.
Yeah.
And then you shift over to the right, you see the skull peeking
Yep.
out at you at the, from the little table.
And that's all connected in that
Connected?
in a sense with the same thing over there.
Yes.
You know, the
this
skull's
is-
the end
right.
of the.
There, it's all part of the same series. Basically, this was an interior view of the studio with the
Mhm.
model and the
Right.
sculpture.
Yeah.
Sappho, they know very little about Sappho. She was a woman that lived on the island of Lesbos and wrote poetry, but they have so little of the poetry left on small scraps of paper because it was so.
And
so
this
many
was
hundreds of
what
years ago.
island?
Lesbos.
Oh, Lesbos.
Part of the Greek chain of islands. And
Interesting.
sometimes what I do in the painting, I put a collage from another painting or another image that might be reminiscent
Mhm.
of the subject matter. And that's what that little dark area just to the right of her
Oh,
shoulder.
yeah.
I can tell you the name of the.
So
No,
I can
you can
zoom
do
in.
that another
That's all I can zoom in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's Aphrodite, right behind you. Probably hard because you're shooting into the light.
Yeah. Just get a zoom in on it. Yeah, that's fine. That works.
Really? Can you see it? Let me
Yeah.
come around and see it.
Well, it's just a little, you know, we pick it up okay. It's just a little bright behind it. But she's over to the side of the door, so I mean, you can pick it up pretty well.
I'm amazed.
Yeah.
That's terrific. I love the story about salvaging from the,
Yeah. The dumpster.
the dumpster. God.
Well, you got to be at the right place at the right time, Anthony. So with these paintings on the wall there, they just
Those are this new little series I'm working on, which are vignettes. They're portions of paintings done by this guy, Bouguereau.
oh,
So it's a whole series
So-
based on the hands and feet that are in his paintings.
so you're reproducing them.
Right. Can you see them?
Yeah, very well. Gonna zoom in on them. So you actually painted those,
Mm-hmm.
and they're a what you call
Want me to turn the light on there?
well, you should try it. I think we got some good lighting though. Oh, all right, that's interesting. That's perfect. So, do you want to? Is there anything in particular about either any of these that you want to
Well,
point out?
you get a shine on it, or 'cause
No, actually, it's
it is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm amazed.
yeah.
No, they're like I said earlier. I'm fascinated by this guy. He was a brilliant, brilliant painter, and everything he does is so impeccably done
Yeah.
and beautifully, beautifully drawn. So I've been fascinated by that for years, and I've always wanted to sort of focus on just the hands and the feet.
Where can you see the live works of his?
They're all over.
Yeah,
Mostly in France.
I see. Are they in the?
If you get this money coming in, we could, take a trip to Paris and.
Yeah, right. Well, after
For
they
the
see
rest of
this, they're gonna either run me out of town or they're gonna write me a big check. So, I'm gonna look them up.
Yeah. Next time you come, I can unwrap some of the other paintings that are over against the wall there.
Well, I'm anxious to see, Anthony, how the lighting and everything turns out.
Yeah, yeah. Good
And that
point.
up on the wall there?
That was
Looks like something in the dumpster too, right?
No,
No?
that was done by a friend of mine in graduate school. So
Really?
That dates all the way back to 1965.
Wow.
Yeah, he was started out as a painter.
Mm-hmm.
George Gilbert is his name, and he switched to ceramics after we graduated. He's still out in Pennsylvania. Huh.
Oh, yeah. Move this out of the way. Does it roll?
You're going to hit the top there.
Yeah.
Let me lower it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we can move it that way if you want.
All right. Whoops. The only trouble with the rugs.
Is that, yeah. I think we're doing good, Anthony.
Okay.
Just take a little more and then wrap
My
it up.
little
So-
that bookcase
Yeah.
is called a barrister bookcase because hey,
I'm gonna move
see
it.
how these things work? You know this kind of bookcase? Lift it up.
Oh, yeah.
Just keep the.
I think we have one at home.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Terrific. If you want to sell it,
I
let me know. I need another.
I think I've seen, maybe not, but I've seen them, yeah. Actually, they make, they made office furniture like that too. They'd
Yeah,
slide the thing open.
Exactly. It was part of my collection of skulls.
Yeah. And where'd they come from? Jeepers.
I collected them through the years. There was a company way back in the early '60s in New York
Uh-huh.
that was selling them, getting them from India, and the government put a stop on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they must have come from like an archaeologist, or
I dread to think where they
yeah,
came from.
right. Yeah, 'cause it's
Anyway, I
funny.
use them a lot, the skulls.
Yeah.
And all that other stuff up there. That little skeleton was found on the street in Brooklyn. A colleague of mine gave it to me
Oh my
because he
goodness.
knew my interest in anatomy. That
Somebody just was getting rid of it.
the plaque there, that's a portrait of Savonarola, the Florentine monk who was burned at the stake in late 1500s.
Really?
Yeah, he was a nut.
He was.
He was.
What was his name?
Savonarola. He was a fiery preacher.
I see. Nowadays they don't get burned at the stake, do they?
I can think of a few I'd like to burn at this thing. It's interesting that he picks up everything.
Yeah.
And there's not much light there.
Yeah, I know. So that's why that's why I wanted to test it.
Yeah.
So maybe
Sure.
I have to work on the apertures.
Can you change them
Yeah.
as you're doing it?
Yeah. Well, I could. I mean, I could show you that I could close it up a little, but see how it darkens.
Oh,
it
yeah.
up.
That's a great piece of sculpture. That came out of Marie's father's law office.
Wow.
And it's about time
Uh-huh.
And you see all those coins there? You can't see it now, but there's a sculpted ribbon across her chest which says "Time is money."
Oh,
That's
that's what the lawyers use as their.
exactly. You call a lawyer and they've got a timer set on the phone.
I know. You see the bills; they're like down to the minute. And these are some of your other sketches.
Yeah, little paintings. That's a painting by Correggio, the little angel there. Just a little detail I did. He was a model of mine. There's another relief sculpture down there that came out of the same dumpster. That's by Luca della Robbia. It's from what they call a cantoria. It was a big marble balcony that had scenes set in it of children singing and playing musical instruments. That's what we need in St. Joe's, some stuff like that.
What's that? You mean some of these things? Like?
Yeah, well, balconies where we could put
Oh,
the
yeah.
choir and
Well, like I said, we were down at the cathedral down in Newark, Sacred Heart,
yeah.
and what a talk about those facades.
Really?
Oh my gosh!
I've never been there.
Oh, you gotta go.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when you go in a week or so, and you can see the go to Branch Brook Park where all the cherry blossoms. It's like the largest. You know how they say Washington D.C. has the
Yeah.
cherry blossoms. I think Branch Brook is the largest in the country.
No kidding.
Yeah, Ellen and I went a couple of years ago.
Oh,
and,
you guys are terrific.
well, we're trying to. You know, I like to go around and you hear about all these things. I'd like
Yeah.
to just. I want to see them.
Did you go for a service there?
Yeah.
Speaking of Easter, the painting that's reproduced there.
There?
Yeah, I was thinking about bringing that down, but it's such a big thing. It's a big 7-foot high painting I did of a crucifixion.
That there.
Yeah.
Let's get a shot of it.
I'll take this light off. Or
Yeah.
I used to take it down and bring it down here and hang it up.
Uh huh.
But it's such a big job.
Yeah. Where is it upstairs?
Yeah. I could show you if you want.
Okay.
Pull it out. Yeah, I'll go pull it out. All right?
How about this? Let's just carry the darn camera up there.
Oh, sure, sure. But let me pull it out.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll be right up.
Watch your. Don't come up yet. I want to see
All right.
how hard.
All right, that's a good idea.
What I may have to do is